Let me say, a phobia means that you have an irrational fear of something. That's a phobia, irrational fear. There is no such thing as Islamophobia, because the fact that almost every major terrorist attack for the last several decades have been committed by Muslims, from Africa to France, of course to Israel, to America, having a fear to some extent of Muslims because of this is rational. So there's no such thing as Islamophobia. This is a phony term, and we should never use it because it's not. It doesn't describe what the truth is, and it's remarkable that 60% of the hate crimes are committed against Jews in America, only 15% against Muslims, and yet the Muslims become protected and not the Jews. It is really astonishing, and it's not to be explained except extraordinary Jew hatred, extraordinary irrational Jew hatred.
How much of that was behind the motive in the massacres of October 7th, 23?
Article 7 of Hamas calls for the murder of every Jew on earth. This is pure Jew hatred. It has nothing to do with land. In fact, 3 days ago, Mahmoud Azar, I think is his name, the co-founder of Hamas, put out a video just a few days ago saying, I want everyone to know that the Jews are only first. Our goal is to proclaim Islamic law over the entire world, and after the Jews, we're going to go after the despicable Christians. So they openly say this is a part of a worldwide jihad effort to transform the world, Islamicize the world. So their hatred toward Jews is purely hatred of Jews. It is not about land, because Hamas has the entire Gaza Strip. And it can't be about land because Mahmoud Abbas has been offered a state 4 times in the last 20 years. Ehud Olmert's being the most recent, where he offered 97% of Judea and Samaria, the West Bank, 3% of Israel proper, half of Jerusalem, billions of dollars in aid, and they said no. They had a state given to them on a silver platter. And I asked Olmert, why did Abbas not take your extraordinary offer where you gave them really everything they were asking for? They only kept the area where there's several 100,000 Jews in Judea and Samaria. You can't give it away, too many Jews. Olmert said, Abbas said to him, you must get rid of 3 clauses or I won't sign it. 1, I accept Israel as a Jewish state. Abbas said, I will never do that. 2, you can't limit me to 150,000 Palestinians to move into Israel. I want to be able to bring millions into Israel. 3, you have to take out the clause that says no further claims. But of course, if you make this deal, it's over. There's no more claims. And Abbas said, I won't sign it if it says that. So this is the clear proof. It has nothing to do with land or statehood. It has to do purely with the Jewish state of Israel's destruction and murdering Jewish people. It has nothing to do with anything else.
How about the aspect of mainstream press willingly accepting any statistics of casualties committed by Israel on its face, regardless of the history of Hamas and Palestinians distorting, exaggerating, and even Pallywood staging these things?
It pains me to say this means to me that the media is so biased against Jews in Israel, so bigoted against Jews in Israel, so hateful toward Jews in Israel, that they willingly will accept any data that has not been proven if it hurts Israel or Jews. I mean, how do you accept information from Hamas? If you can murder people, rape Jewish women, behead little Jewish infants, you certainly can lie. And we certainly wouldn't have accepted what Al-Qaeda would say against the American attack. We would say, it's ridiculous. Who cares what he says? We know he's just lying. The only reason they accept Hamas so quickly is there's no other explanation except bigotry and hatred of the Jewish people and the Jewish state.
So what does that say about the effectiveness of the mainstream media watchdogs that we have in the community? And I'll say camera and honest reporting, for instance, including Stan with us. Where's the deterrent in media misreporting against Israel?
Well, the media is a big problem. They're part of the problem of the Islamic war against the West and against Israel, is that the media is protecting, I'm afraid to say, the bad actors, as they say, in the Arab Islamic world.
But we do have watchdogs that are supposed to have been deterred this in the same way NAACP did.
Well, some of these watchdogs do put out the truth about the lies that they put out, but it's a drop in the bucket. It doesn't have much impact.
So when these images hit the airwaves, and they will in a couple of days, the Islamo-Marxists have already started marching in other cities, not just rejecting Israel's backlash, but Israel's legitimacy.
It is horrifying that every country, when they have been attacked, it's fully accepted that you can retaliate in any way disproportionately that you can. In fact, in several of the wars, American generals said, our goal is to go out with all the force we have to crush our enemy so they can't even dream about fighting us again. So nobody talks about proportionality except Jews. Anyone who talks about proportionality in war, when it comes to Israel, is simply an anti-Semite, is simply a Jew hater and an Israel basher.